my beloved child, do not give up now. I know the road has been steep, and I know this journey requires a courage you feel you no longer have. But listen to me closely. I chose you intentionally for a purpose far greater than you can imagine. Right now, I am unfolding my master plan, walking beside you through every single trial. Together, we will shatter the obstacles in your path. We will face the storms, and we will emerge victorious because you were not created to fail. Your presence on this earth is no accident. I inscribed your name in my book long before the foundations of the world were laid. I have loved you fiercely from the very beginning, waiting for this exact moment when you would finally look up and see my guiding light. I know that in your darkest nights, you have asked questions that shatter your peace. You have cried out, wondering where I was when your heart was breaking. Today, I have come to answer you. I am here to wipe away the ashes of your hurtful past. Do not turn away. Listen to my voice now, because what I am about to reveal will change everything. Trust me today. I speak to the deepest, most hidden parts of your soul today, addressing the silent, heavy burdens you have carried for far too long. I see the invisible weight upon your shoulders, the heavy stones of regret and sorrow that you have meticulously gathered along your journey through this world. You have walked through valleys heavily shadowed by perceived failure, and you have allowed the continuous, haunting echoes of your past mistakes to dictate the rhythm of your present heartbeat. But I am here to tell you, with the absolute authority of the heavens, that the narrative you have been relentlessly repeating in your mind is not the story I have written for your life. I am the author of your salvation, the architect of your redemption, and my pen is filled entirely with grace, not with the bitter ink of condemnation. I deeply understand the human tendency to look backward, to stand weeping at the graveyard of your past decisions, and to mourn what you believe could have been if only you had chosen differently. You constantly replay the moments where you stumbled, the harsh words you desperately wish you could take back, and the misguided paths you wish you had never walked down. You allow the enemy of your peace to project a continuous, unbroken reel of your shortcomings onto the screen of your mind, a deception designed to convince you that you are forever disqualified from experiencing my abundant blessings. But listen closely to the undeniable truth of my word for you today. My love for you is not a fragile, temporary emotion that shatters into pieces the moment you make a mistake. It is a fierce, consuming, and eternal fire that purifies, cleanses, and completely restores. When I look at you, I do not see the sum of your failures, your missteps, or your flaws. I see the magnificent masterpiece of my own creation, redeemed, washed, and made entirely new by a sacrifice you cannot even begin to fathom. The mistakes of your yesterday, the errors that keep you awake in the dark hours of the night, have been completely swallowed up in the vast, unfathomable ocean of my unending mercy. I have not merely covered your transgressions with a temporary veil, I have completely and permanently erased them from my memory. As far as the east is from the west, an infinite and immeasurable distance, that is exactly how far I have removed your transgressions from you. Why then, my beloved child, do you insist on constantly retrieving what I have permanently discarded? When you continually revisit the hurts and the errors of the past, you are choosing to drink deeply from a bitter, poisoned well that I have already sealed shut with my love. You are intentionally keeping alive the very pain and shame that I sacrificed everything to put to a final death. It is time, right now, to drop those heavy bags of crippling guilt. It is time to completely release your tight grip on your old identity, the one wrapped tightly in shame, unworthiness, and constant self-reproach. You owe the past absolutely nothing. The debt you thought you carried has been paid in full, settled with a divine currency you could never earn and a profound love you could never exhaust. I am actively working in this very moment to heal not just your broken spirit, but the very memories that continue to haunt your peace. I want to wash your tired mind with the soothing, refreshing water of my presence, erasing the sharp sting of those sad and hurtful recollections. When the dark, oppressive thoughts try to creep in during the quiet, vulnerable hours of the night, whispering insidious lies that you are damaged goods or beyond repair, I want you to boldly and loudly declare that you are a brand new creation. The old, broken version of you has gone forever, and the new, glorious reality has come. You must understand that holding on to past hurts and nursing old wounds only serves to anchor you in a desolate harbor of spiritual stagnation. It brings the deep hurt back to the surface of your heart, making you feel worse, draining your precious energy, and blinding your eyes to the miraculous, beautiful works I am doing in your present life. Your life is far too precious, your divine calling too significant to be spent perpetually looking in the rearview mirror of regret and sorrow. I need you to lift your eyes today. I need you to see the magnificent horizon of my grace that is rapidly expanding before you. The complete erasure of your past mistakes is not just a distant theological concept, it is a tangible, living, breathing reality that I want you to boldly step into right now. Breathe in the absolute freedom of my perfect forgiveness. Let it permeate every single cell of your being, chasing out the lingering shadows of self-doubt, anxiety, and self-hatred. You are completely forgiven. You are thoroughly cleansed. You are entirely and beautifully free because the ashes of your past have been washed away by my grace. A vast, breathtaking expanse of new possibilities now lies wide open before you. What is truly important in my eyes is not the difficult places where you have been, but the beautiful fact that you are alive right now, breathing in this very moment, standing on the sacred threshold of a magnificent spiritual transformation. I am turning the page of your life story, and together we are beginning a breathtaking new chapter of absolute restoration. This is not merely a slight continuation of your old story with a few minor adjustments to make it bearable. No, this is a profound, sweeping, and miraculous renewal of your entire existence. Get ready for an absolutely amazing new chapter in your life, one where the barren, dry grounds of your long struggles will suddenly and miraculously burst forth with the vibrant, beautiful colors of answered prayers. The incredibly good things I have carefully prepared for you are already in motion. They are growing steadily in the unseen spiritual realm, gathering immense strength, and they are ready to manifest powerfully in your everyday reality. I know intimately that the long, grueling seasons of waiting and the harsh, freezing winters of deep disappointment have left you feeling completely drained, perhaps even deeply cynical about what the future holds. You may have quietly packed your greatest dreams away in dusty boxes of resignation, entirely convinced that your best, most joyful days are permanently behind you. But I tell you today, with a voice that shatters the darkness, that the divine seeds of those dreams are still very much alive. They have been resting safely in the fertile soil of your enduring faith, constantly watered by your hidden tears, and they are about to sprout with an unprecedented, unstoppable vigor. You will absolutely see your most deeply held goals and righteous desires come to full fruition. This will not happen by your own frantic striving or exhausting efforts, but by the gentle, irresistible, and continuous flow of my divine favor upon your life. I am actively restoring your physical and emotional strength. The deep exhaustion that has settled so heavily into your bones, the weariness that makes every step feel like a monumental effort, is being gently drawn out by my healing, comforting spirit. You will soon begin to feel as strong, as vibrant, and as wonderfully energetic as you once did in your youth. In fact, you will feel even stronger, because this completely new strength is fueled entirely by a divine, eternal source that never, ever runs dry. Your beautiful heart, which has been severely bruised, battered, and scarred by the relentless storms of life, is currently being meticulously repaired by my own hands. I am perfectly setting your heart up to take on exciting new adventures, to finally experience the profound, bubbling happiness that comes only from living exactly where you were meant to be, and doing exactly what you were brilliantly created to do. Look forward with bright eyes. Fix your steadfast gaze on the promised horizon where my blessings are not scarce or rare, but overwhelmingly abundant. Look toward the place where incredibly good things do not just happen occasionally by chance, but grow continually and reliably like a perfectly watered garden in the springtime. I am profoundly restoring the precious years that the swarming locusts have eaten away from your life. The valuable time you thought was entirely wasted, the golden opportunities you believed were permanently lost to your past mistakes, I am carefully orchestrating a miraculous, divine recovery of it all. You will look around and see your family truly happy again. The painfully fractured relationships, the heavy, unspoken tensions, the massive walls of misunderstanding that have been slowly erected over the years, my healing spirit is moving powerfully through them all right now. I am dismantling the bitter barriers and gently weaving beautiful new threads of reconciliation, understanding, and deep, abiding love. You will sit together around the table of fellowship, and you will absolutely marvel at the profound peace that has descended upon your once troubled household. This is the glorious season of your great turnaround. The heavy garments of your mourning are currently being traded for the light, joyful garments of dancing. I am exchanging the cold ashes of your long grief for a breathtakingly beautiful crown of joy. You must actively prepare your mind, your heart, and your surrounding environment to receive this massive abundance. Do not persistently cling to a restrictive poverty mindset when I am freely offering you the limitless riches of my heavenly kingdom. Open your hands wide, widen your spiritual expectations. This exciting new chapter is not a sad story of mere survival or scraping by. It is a magnificent, victorious saga of thriving, of conquering your obstacles, and of living daily in the incredible overflow of my boundless grace. Every single morning when you wake up and open your eyes, I want you to consciously and deliberately step into this brand new reality. Remind yourself constantly that you are walking in a beautifully restored landscape, lovingly guided by an almighty God who specializes in making absolutely all things beautiful and perfect in their proper time. However, as you boldly step into this glorious new chapter of restoration, there is a crucial, non-negotiable action you must take to protect the beautiful harvest I am bringing into your life. You cannot successfully pour fresh new wine into old, brittle, and compromised wineskins. In the same way, you absolutely cannot carry the heavy, toxic, and deeply draining relationships of your painful past into the boundless, joyful freedom of your future. I love you far too much to allow you to remain hopelessly tethered to situations and individuals who constantly pull you down, who habitually disrespect your gentle spirit, and who continually drain the vital, life-giving energy I am currently pouring into you. If there are people in your daily life who stubbornly refuse to accept your spiritual growth, who continually and maliciously remind you of the old mistakes I have already completely forgiven, and who actively try to keep you tightly trapped in a former version of yourself that simply no longer exists, it is time for you to make a profound and decisive change. You do not owe your precious presence, your time, or your emotional energy to anyone who consistently belittles your divine worth. If some people cannot or will not see your true immense value, if they mock your steadfast faith, or if they subtly and constantly undermine your growing confidence, it is absolutely time to find new friends. It is time to intentionally surround yourself with uplifting individuals who clearly recognize the bright light of my Holy Spirit within you. You need people who will constantly encourage you, who will pray fervently with you, and who will joyfully celebrate the magnificent, miraculous work I am currently doing in your life. I do not want anyone to disrespect the incredible kindness, the sweet gentleness, and the absolute unbreakable freedom that my Spirit generously offers you. Quite often, out of a deeply misunderstood sense of spiritual loyalty or a heavily misplaced feeling of continuous obligation, my beloved children tolerate environments that are fundamentally and spiritually destructive. You might mistakenly think that by staying in a constantly humiliating, embarrassing, or degrading situation, you are somehow demonstrating divine patience or suffering nobly for a righteous, higher cause. But hear me clearly. I have not called you to be a perpetual silent victim of someone else's cruelty, bitterness, or manipulation. You absolutely should not stick around in any dynamic or relationship that consistently brings you down, that violently forces you to compromise your hard-won peace, or that makes you feel incredibly small, worthless, and insignificant. You are a cherished child of the Most High God. You beautifully bear my royal, divine image. You are magnificently clothed in a holy dignity that was purchased at the absolute highest possible price. To passively allow others to continually trample upon that sacred dignity is to fundamentally disregard the immense, immeasurable value I have carefully placed upon your life. Listen to my guiding voice alone, and let my comforting truth be the ultimate, final authority in your life. Keep your newfound freedom completely safe from those who would desperately try to put you back in heavy emotional chains. This necessary separation requires profound wisdom and deep courage. It requires you to set firm, incredibly loving, but absolutely non-negotiable boundaries. Stepping gracefully away from toxic, draining ties is not an act of malice, hatred, or unforgiveness. It is a profound, necessary act of spiritual self-preservation and strict obedience to my ultimate desire for your complete well-being. Step completely out of any situation, relationship, or environment that feels like a cold, dark, and suffocating prison. You were entirely meant to soar freely in the open, boundless skies of my amazing grace, not to be securely locked in a miserable cage of constant criticism, judgment, and emotional turmoil. I know very well that it can be deeply terrifying to leave what is familiar, even when that familiar place is incredibly painful and damaging. You might greatly fear the temporary loneliness that often comes with newly empty spaces in your life, but I solemnly promise you that I will completely fill those empty spaces with my overwhelming, comforting presence and with brand new, incredibly life-giving connections. Do not let the paralyzing fear of what others might think or say keep you permanently stuck in a place of suffering. The fleeting opinions of those who do not walk in my brilliant light are absolutely nothing but fading, empty echoes compared to the roaring, undeniable truth of my deep love for you. When you bravely choose to sever ties with chronic disrespect, you are making a powerful, earth-shaking declaration in the spiritual realm. You are actively agreeing with my high assessment of your incredible worth. You are actively and bravely participating in your own divine deliverance. Be incredibly strong in this firm resolve. Do not let false sentimentality, guilt trips, or manipulation draw you back into the dangerous web you just escaped. Keep your eyes firmly fixed on the beautiful path of peace I have carefully laid out before you, and walk confidently, without ever looking back, away from the dark shadows that constantly seek to consume your brilliant light. Your incredible courage in walking away from toxic, draining environments is not only for your own spiritual preservation, it is absolutely, fundamentally vital for the ongoing protection of those you love most in this world. Your precious children, your close family members, the innocent ones who look up to you daily for necessary guidance, stability, and safety, They urgently need this protection. 2. The emotional and spiritual atmosphere you allow to persist in your own life is the exact same air that your entire household breathes every single day. When you passively remain in situations heavily filled with ongoing pain, deep humiliation, and subtle spiritual manipulation, that dark toxicity slowly but surely seeps into the very foundation of your home. Leave such damaging situations completely behind, and I promise you with all my heart, you will look back on this exact day and be overwhelmingly, profoundly grateful for this stern but loving warning. You will see clearly today, and in the days to come, exactly how much I really, truly care about you, how fiercely I protect those who belong to me, and how much you and your family truly mean to my heart. I desperately want you to be a strong, vigilant guardian of your family's precious peace. There are indeed those in this world who will maliciously misuse my holy words, twisting beautiful spiritual truths into heavy, suffocating chains of control to actively manipulate you and your loved ones. They cleverly use the false guise of extreme righteousness to carefully mask their deep desire for personal power over you, constantly imposing false guilt, heavy expectations, and massive burdens that I absolutely never, ever intended for you or your family to carry. You must have the sharp spiritual discernment to instantly recognize these dangerous individuals. Keep your family as far as possible from the damaging reach of this kind of spiritual misuse and emotional control. Your home is divinely meant to be a holy sanctuary, a wonderfully safe harbor where my unconditional love is the absolute only ruling authority. It is a place where grace must flow freely, where forgiveness is abundant, and where every single member can safely grow, thrive, and flourish in the incredible warmth of my genuine, unmerited acceptance. If you weakly decide to stay connected with those who consistently do not treat you right, falsely hoping against all hope that your silent, enduring suffering will magically change their hardened hearts, you are only deceiving yourself. Remember this vital truth today. You absolutely cannot expect a deeply toxic situation to change without making a definitive, courageous choice to step away from it entirely. You must do your part in this deliverance. I have lovingly given you a wonderfully sound mind, an incredibly strong spirit, and the beautiful free will to boldly choose a life of peace. You are a highly wise and deeply responsible person, entirely capable of making the difficult, uncomfortable, but absolutely necessary decisions that will permanently safeguard your family's bright future. Do not fall into the dangerous, comfortable trap of passivity or victimhood. Your precious life and your beloved family will unfortunately continue to suffer needlessly as long as you willingly remain trapped in a vicious, unbreakable cycle of constant pain, disrespect, and deep humiliation. I am telling you today, directly to your heart, with all the supreme authority of heaven and all the gentle tenderness of a perfectly loving Father, that you absolutely do not deserve such continuous suffering. You are my highly favored, deeply precious child. I have already fully paid for your absolute freedom, your enduring peace, and the complete forgiveness of your sins with a divine sacrifice of incomprehensible, universe-altering magnitude. I have held absolutely nothing back from you to ensure your victory. I have generously poured out the limitless riches of heaven to ensure that you can walk out of that prison today. Now I ask you, my precious one, what more shall I do for you to prove my devotion? The banqueting table is beautifully set for you. The heavy iron door to your emotional prison is standing wide open. The cruel chains that once bound your mind and heart have been permanently unlocked and broken. But you must be the one to physically and spiritually stand up, lift your head high, and walk out. You must take that decisive, monumental step across the threshold, leaving the familiar pain, and entering into the glorious freedom I have fully secured for you. It is a profound choice that requires immense bravery, but I assure you, you are not making this journey alone. I am tightly holding your right hand, lovingly guiding your every single step, and generously providing the exact strength you need precisely when your own human courage begins to falter. If you're finding this fascinating, hit subscribe so you don't miss what comes next on this magnificent journey. I have equipped you with the divine wisdom to clearly see the stark truth of your current situation and the supernatural power to completely change its trajectory forever. Do not ever settle for a dull life of quiet, enduring desperation when a vibrant life of overflowing, contagious joy is currently within your easy grasp. Fiercely protect your heart. Fiercely protect your home. Stand incredibly firm in the royal dignity I have permanently bestowed upon you, and absolutely refuse to let anyone, no matter who they are, diminish or extinguish the glorious, divine light I have carefully placed within your soul. You have taken the first courageous step by walking away from what harms you, but the destination I have prepared requires an even greater leap of faith. The intricate web of familiar suffering is a very subtle and dangerous trap, and I know exactly how deeply entangled you have felt within it. When you have lived for so long within a continuous, unbroken cycle of profound pain and quiet humiliation, that very suffering can begin to feel strangely like a secure home. You become terribly accustomed to the heavy atmosphere of disrespect, slowly adjusting your own heart to survive in a suffocating space that I never designed for you to inhabit. You learn to make yourself remarkably small, constantly lowering your gaze, muting your own voice, and quietly accepting the absolute bare minimum of love and consideration from those around you. You falsely convince yourself that this endless endurance is somehow a noble cross you must bear, a permanent test of your spiritual patience, or perhaps a lingering punishment for the mistakes of your past that you still secretly believe I have not fully forgiven. But you must hear my voice cutting through that profound deception today. I did not breathe my divine eternal life into your lungs so that you could exist as a mere shadow, constantly absorbing the bitter poison of others' unresolved anger, their blinding jealousy, or their cruel manipulation. Your precious life and the innocent lives of your deeply beloved family will unfortunately continue to suffer immense, unnecessary damage as long as you willingly remain trapped within this vicious, relentless cycle of deep emotional pain and constant humiliation. This cycle is a destructive downward spiral that actively robs you of your divine destiny, completely draining your physical vitality and violently tearing away the profound peace that I urgently want to establish firmly within your household. I am telling you today, with all the absolute authority of the Creator of the universe and with all the fierce, protective love of a Heavenly Father, that you absolutely do not deserve such agonizing, continuous suffering. You are my highly favored, deeply cherished child. I have already paid the ultimate staggering price for your complete freedom and your eternal peace. I purchased your absolute dignity with my own blood, a sacrifice of such incomprehensible, universe-altering magnitude that it permanently shattered every single chain of condemnation, every curse of unworthiness, and every heavy yoke of emotional slavery that the enemy could ever try to place upon your tired shoulders. When I look at the immense suffering you continue to tolerate from those who actively dishonor you, my heart aches, because I have already freely provided the open door for your complete escape. Now I ask you, my precious one, what more shall I possibly do for you to prove my unfailing devotion? I have laid the entire wealth of my heavenly kingdom at your feet. I have given you my Holy Spirit as a constant indwelling comforter and an unfailing guide. I have permanently written your name in the eternal book of life. Ask me for anything you righteously desire according to my will. Call out to me from the depths of your weary soul, and I will surely, swiftly respond with magnificent wonders far beyond your human imagination. I will part the raging waters of your current circumstances. I will move the immovable mountains of opposition that stand before you. But tell me, my beloved child, will you truly believe in me? Will you finally trust that my incredibly vast love for you is far stronger than the familiar, comforting chains of your current misery? I absolutely do not want you to remain stuck in this same desolate place of spiritual and emotional barrenness. It is time for you to boldly and courageously leave your desolate land. Just as I called the ancient patriarchs to leave their familiar surroundings, to step away from their toxic relatives and the deeply ingrained destructive generational patterns of their ancestors, I am powerfully calling you today to pack up your spiritual belongings and walk away from the barren territory of constant defeat. Leave behind the deeply, deeply negative environment that constantly stifles your spiritual growth. Step away from the cynical voices of those familiar associates who constantly remind you of your past failures, who maliciously mock your steadfast faith, and who actively try to keep you confined in a narrow box of their own limited, worldly expectations. I am calling you to purposefully march toward the glorious, promised dreamland that I have specifically and uniquely prepared for you. This is not just a distant, ethereal concept. It is a tangible, living reality of spiritual abundance, profound peace, and overflowing joy that you can begin to experience right here on this earth. In this magnificent promised land, my divine blessings rain down like a gentle, constant spring shower, deeply nourishing the soil of your life. Divine provision continually springs from the ground, effortlessly meeting your daily needs and abundantly supplying you with enough left over to be a profound blessing to others. But to enter this extraordinary realm of my divine favor, you must completely change the way you perceive your own identity. You can absolutely no longer see yourself through the deeply flawed, highly critical eyes of those who have hurt you, nor can you evaluate your worth based on the shifting, superficial standards of a broken, chaotic world. My dear child, with all the boundless, overwhelming affection of my eternal heart, I am telling you today that you are exceptionally special. You are a masterpiece of divine craftsmanship, fearlessly and wonderfully made, intentionally designed with a beautiful, holy purpose that no one else can fulfill. If only you could truly feel what I feel for you. If only you could completely step outside of your own human limitations for just one fleeting moment and see yourself exactly as I see you from the high courts of heaven. If you could profoundly understand the unseen supernatural world and recognize the incredible spiritual authority you carry simply by bearing my name, I deeply wish you could stand before the mirror of my truth, not the physical mirror on your wall that only reflects your physical aging, your deep exhaustion, the dark circles of your persistent worry, and the physical scars of your earthly battles. That physical mirror is a liar, constantly focusing your precious attention on your temporary, fading human frailty. I want you to gaze deeply into the flawless, illuminating spiritual mirror of my holy word. In this sacred divine reflection, the blindingly bright truth of your identity is fully revealed. Looking at yourself in this breathtaking spiritual mirror, you would not see a defeated, broken, or rejected victim of circumstance. You would instantly see a brilliantly glowing, heavily armored, and completely victorious warrior of the light. You would see a beautifully adorned royal heir to the most magnificent kingdom in existence. You would clearly see the permanent, indelible seal of my Holy Spirit brightly resting upon your forehead, a glorious mark of divine ownership that completely terrifies the forces of darkness. You would clearly see that you are draped in the immaculate, pure white garments of my own perfect righteousness, completely spotless and absolutely without a single blemish of past sin. If you could only fully comprehend this stunning, magnificent reflection of your true self, I know exactly what your response would be. You would instantly fall to your knees, completely overwhelmed by a cascading waterfall of divine grace, and you would passionately thank me with every single fiber of your being. You would joyfully offer me your unwavering loyalty, your precious time, your brightest smile, and your most intimate, soaring thoughts. The deep, heavy depression that has constantly clouded your days would instantly evaporate like the morning mist before a blazing, glorious sun. You would powerfully rise from your knees with a profound, unshakable love for life, a fierce, burning passion to forcefully embark on conquering the beautiful promised land I have patiently held in reserve for you. You would immediately and aggressively break those brittle remaining bonds of fear and self-doubt that have falsely restrained you for so long, for you would deeply realize that you are strongly fortified with the immense, roaring courage that my voice constantly instills deep within your soul. You would finally, completely understand that you do not have to fight a desperate, exhausting battle for a distant, uncertain victory. You are already permanently victorious in absolutely all things through my ultimate sacrifice and my glorious resurrection. The battle was definitively won long before you were even born, and I am simply inviting you to confidently walk in the magnificent spoils of that eternal triumph. The heavy doors to my heavenly throne room are always standing wide open for you. There are absolutely no barriers, no restrictive religious checkpoints, and no complex requirements to enter into my comforting presence. You do not need to clean yourself up, perfect your vocabulary, or somehow earn an audience with the Creator of the stars. Just come exactly as you are, bearing your raw, unfiltered truth, and talk to me with a deeply thankful and wonderfully humble heart. I will gladly show you my immense love in a profound, deeply personal way that only I can. I know the exact frequency of your soul, the specific, quiet comfort that your uniquely weary heart desperately requires. Come and sit down right next to me in the quiet, peaceful stillness of my sanctuary. Look in my direction with your beautiful, faith-filled eyes. Turn your steadfast gaze away from the massive, terrifying waves of your current problems, away from the loud, distracting winds of the world's constant panic, and fix your eyes entirely upon my steady, unchanging face. You are incredibly, unspeakably blessed, and you currently have full, unrestricted access to the entirety of my limitless strength. All the vast, immeasurable riches of heaven, all the profound peace, all the perfect wisdom, all the miraculous healing power that I possess is entirely yours, freely given, just as I have faithfully promised and securely written down in my holy covenant with you. I urge you today to boldly ask, and you shall absolutely receive. I will personally nourish your tired, depleted spirit with the profound sweetness of my enduring presence and the absolute best, most abundant provisions of the land. Do not lose heart. Do not let your spirit sink or feel deeply downcast when the road ahead appears steep or completely shrouded in a thick, confusing fog. You have an incredibly important role to play in this grand, sweeping narrative of redemption. Your specific life, your unique voice, your steadfast faith is a critical, beautiful thread in the magnificent tapestry I am actively weaving across eternity. My immense love for you is so incredibly vast, so unfathomably deep, and so completely limitless that it is vastly more than your beautiful human mind can fully grasp right now. It is wider than the expansive universe, deeper than the most profound ocean, and infinitely more constant than the rising of the morning sun. But even if you cannot fully comprehend the massive scale of this love, I urgently ask you to simply trust in it. Allow yourself to actually feel it wrapping around you like a thick, warm, and impenetrable blanket of divine security. Walk boldly forward by faith, placing one foot in front of the other, knowing with absolute, unshakable certainty that I never ever deceive those who place their hope in me. My promises are not empty, poetic metaphors. They are the solid, immovable bedrock of absolute reality. I am always, constantly and intimately with you in every single breath you take, in every single step you make. From the absolute bottom of my eternal heart, I am telling you today I love you incredibly deeply, and I truly, sincerely wish no more unnecessary pain for you. I clearly see the incredibly tough times you are currently enduring. I closely watch you as you walk through your daily life, feeling exactly like you are rapidly running completely out of strength, operating entirely on the fumes of sheer, desperate willpower. I see how incredibly hard you try to hide your deep, agonizing pain from the rest of the world. I watch you carefully paced on a brave, convincing smile, desperately aiming to look completely strong and perfectly put together for your family, your friends, and your colleagues. You carry your massive, heavy burdens in utter silence, terrified that if you let your guard down for even one single second, the overwhelming flood of your hidden sorrow will completely wash you away. Yet, my precious child, I understand you far more deeply than you could ever possibly understand yourself. You might successfully fool the physical mirror on your wall. You might easily trick the casual observers in your daily life, and you might even deceive those who live right inside your very own home, but you can absolutely never hide your profound, hidden exhaustion from my loving, all-seeing eyes. I look straight through the carefully constructed, brittle facade. I clearly see your true, beautiful self. I see the heavy, panting exhaustion of your weary spirit. I see the deep, hidden bruises on your fragile heart. Even if you have bravely managed to convince everyone else that you are completely fine, I gently invite you to drop the heavy, exhausting armor right now. Come into my safe, quiet presence and share with me absolutely everything that is holding you back. Tell me in agonizing detail about the deep, lingering worries that you have been too terrified or too deeply ashamed to discuss with anyone else on earth. Speak to me about your paralyzing fear of the unknown future, your profound anxiety over your complex finances, your deep, agonizing heartache over your beloved children, and your terrifying, silent dread of a potential failure. I will carefully, tenderly catch every single bitter tear that falls from your weary eyes, storing them as precious, sacred treasures, and I will gently, powerfully raise you up from the dusty ash heap of your profound despair. You must absolutely stop doubting my incredibly deep desire to actively intervene in your daily life. Stop believing the insidious, demonic lie that you are entirely on your own, that you have to somehow figure out this massive, overwhelming mess all by yourself. I am lovingly commanding you today to hand over the massive, crushing weight of your worries. Give me the heavy, overstuffed backpack of your deep anxieties. Give me the sharp, jagged stones of your persistent, agonizing stress. Give me the incredibly complex, completely unsolvable problems that have been violently keeping you awake at night, making your heart race with pure, unadulterated panic. You were never, ever designed to carry the massive, crushing weight of trying to control an entirely uncontrollable world. That heavy, terrible burden belongs exclusively to me. I will gladly, effortlessly bear the absolute entirety of your worries for you. I will place them squarely upon my own incredibly broad, eternally strong shoulders, and in exchange I will generously give you my profound, beautiful, and completely unexplainable peace. This divine peace does not mean that the violent, raging storms of life will instantly cease. but it absolutely guarantees that you will remain completely, perfectly calm and incredibly safe while the loud, terrifying thunder crashes all around you. You will finally be able to lie down at night and experience a deep, deeply restorative and completely unbroken sleep, knowing with absolute, unshakable certainty that the Almighty Creator of the vast universe is staying wide awake to faithfully stand guard over your precious life. As you bravely prepare to cross over the sacred, highly anticipated threshold into this magnificent promised land I have described, as you finally begin to truly see yourself accurately in the pristine, flawless reflection of my spiritual mirror, and as you deliberately, consciously choose to completely surrender the massive, crushing weight of your long-held worries, I want you to pause and deeply recognize the sheer, breathtaking magnitude of this sacred, divine transition. We are completely leaving the dark, desolate valley of quiet, enduring humiliation permanently behind us. We are forcefully, triumphantly marching straight toward a glorious, sunlit horizon of overflowing, miraculous abundance, profound, unbreakable peace, and an incredibly deeply satisfying spiritual fulfillment. You are actively stepping into a remarkably beautiful season where the heavy, bitter ashes of your painful past are being miraculously transformed into a stunning, radiant crown of eternal glory. If you are finding profound peace in these words and wish to continue walking closely with me on this beautiful journey of faith, take a moment to hit subscribe and like so you never miss the loving guidance that comes next. I will gladly bear the heavy burdens you have carried for so long, but to walk freely in this new land, there is a tiny seed you must plant today. To walk freely in this new land, to truly embrace the boundless horizon I have set before you, you must first deeply understand the absolute security of the environment in which I have placed you. Being my cherished child comes with a magnificent inheritance of blessings, a continuous, overflowing stream of divine favor that touches every single aspect of your daily existence. But among the greatest of these blessings, a wonder that remains largely unseen by your human eyes, is the impenetrable, majestic shield of divine protection that I have permanently stationed all around you. You are never walking through this world alone, unprotected, or vulnerable to the chaotic whims of circumstance. I have carefully, intentionally deployed my heavenly angels to watch over you, to guard your steps, and to keep you entirely safe in all your ways. I want you to close your eyes for a moment and visualize the sheer magnitude of this spiritual reality. There is a vast, powerful, and fiercely loyal heavenly host constantly surrounding your life, your family, your home, and your future. These are not fragile beings. They are magnificent warriors of pure light, incredibly powerful messengers of my eternal will, and they have been given strict, unyielding orders from my throne to protect you from the unseen dangers that lurk in the shadows of this world. They are standing guard at the doors of your home. They are walking beside you as you travel. They are keeping a vigilant, unbroken watch over you while you sleep in the vulnerable quiet of the night. When you feel a sudden, inexplicable sense of peace in the midst of a terrifying situation, when a devastating accident is miraculously avoided by a mere fraction of an inch, when a sudden heavy darkness lifts from your mind without any logical explanation, know with absolute certainty that this is the active, powerful intervention of my angels working diligently on your behalf. They are a constant, invisible barrier of divine fire, actively warding off harmful spirits, serious illnesses, sudden difficulties, and the heavy atmosphere of hate and bitterness that so often permeates the earthly realm. Because you are constantly surrounded by this magnificent heavenly guard, misfortune will absolutely not reach your home. The terrifying storms may rage outside, the winds of chaos may blow fiercely against the walls, but your family is completely, perfectly sheltered under the divine, unbreakable protection of my Holy Spirit. I have given you my solemn, eternal promise of faithfulness, and so it shall stand forever, completely unshaken by the temporary troubles of this earth. Each and every morning, before the loud, demanding noise of the world attempts to invade your mind, I urge you to reach out to me. Pray with a quiet, confident heart, completely assured of this divine protection, and you will undoubtedly notice how incredibly blessed your day becomes. It will be deeply filled with my gentle, guiding love, keeping you in a state of profound, unshakable peace. Should an unexpected difficulty arise in your path, simply pause and converse with me. Do not panic. Do not rush into frantic human action. I shall instantly illuminate your path, clearly enabling you to make the absolute right decision. I shall graciously impart upon you the necessary divine wisdom and offer unmistakable signs to guide you, ensuring your complete certainty in the specific direction you must take. Rest assured, my beloved, I have always sought the absolute best for you, simply because you deserve the exquisite care of a loving Father. As long as your heart remains loyal to me and brims with good, pure intentions, ask, and it shall be abundantly given to you, according to my perfect will. You are a royal child of the omnipotent God, and faithfully, powerfully, I am with you. Therefore, none can successfully stand against you or cause you permanent harm. With immense, guiding love, I carefully direct your every step, intimately walking alongside you. I constantly open brand new, vibrant paths for you, and absolutely everything you do in my holy name will be richly blessed. You will experience profound abundance and resounding success in all your righteous endeavors with me by your side. Your beautiful dreams and your carefully laid plans will absolutely thrive, because only I can truly see and perfectly determine the glorious outcome of your future. Your family will be deeply blessed, and your tireless efforts will bear magnificent fruit. For I, your Almighty God, am always, constantly with you. Because you are perfectly secured within this fortress of angelic protection, the soil of your heart is now completely safe for planting. And this brings me to the tiny, profound seed that is required for you to truly flourish in this promised land. Remember, my precious child, that your faith does not need to be massive, overwhelming, or entirely free from all human doubt in order for it to be incredibly effective. I do not demand that you bring me a mountain of flawless, perfect belief. I only ask that you bring me a faith that is as small, as seemingly insignificant, and as humble as a tiny mustard seed. Look at the mustard seed in the palm of your hand. It is so remarkably small that a sudden breath of wind could easily blow it away. It appears completely powerless, entirely unimpressive to the naked human eye. Yet, contained within that microscopic shell is the magnificent, explosive, unstoppable dina of a massive, towering tree. When you take that tiny seed of faith, that small, fragile spark of trust, and you brave the profound vulnerability of planting it into the rich, dark soil of my promises, a glorious, supernatural transformation begins to take place beneath the surface, completely hidden from the world's view. When you are walking through a deep, dark valley, when the circumstances around you feel like heavy, suffocating dirt pressing down upon your spirit, you might mistakenly feel as though you have been completely buried and forgotten. But I am telling you today, you have not been buried. You have been planted. In the absolute darkness of your deepest trials, that tiny mustard seed of faith begins to bravely crack open. It reaches out, desperately seeking the living water of my spirit, and it begins to send tiny, delicate roots deep down into the immovable bedrock of my eternal love. As you continue to water that small faith with your daily prayers, as you nourish it with the steady, constant reading of my word, And as you intentionally choose to trust me even when your physical eyes cannot see any logical solution, those roots grow incredibly deep, thick, and powerful. They wrap tightly around the foundation of my truth, anchoring your soul so securely that absolutely no storm, no matter how violent, can ever uproot you. And then, at the perfectly appointed time, that faith breaks through the dark surface of the earth. It reaches joyfully toward the brilliant light of my presence, growing rapidly, expanding miraculously until it becomes the absolute largest of trees in the garden of your life. So it is with you, my beloved. You may feel small right now. You may feel as though your faith is fragile and easily shaken by the intimidating challenges that surround you. But I know exactly how high you will rise. I clearly see the massive, unshakable tree of righteousness that you are rapidly becoming. Your faith is growing into a magnificent canopy of divine strength, providing profound shade, deep comfort, and beautiful spiritual nourishment, not only for yourself, but for your entire family, your friends, and everyone who comes into contact with your deeply transformed life. The very same faith that felt so incredibly small in the beginning will soon grow robust branches capable of supporting the heavy weight of massive, answered prayers and extraordinary, everyday miracles. This is the staggering, beautiful power of placing your trust entirely in me. It is never about the size of your faith. It is absolutely always about the infinite, boundless size of the God in whom you have placed that faith. As this magnificent tree of faith grows strong and unyielding within your spirit, you will begin to discover a brand new, breathtaking level of spiritual authority that I have generously bestowed upon you. You are not a helpless victim, softly weeping at the bottom of an impassable obstacle. You are my fiercely empowered child, filled to the absolute brim with my Holy Spirit. My word, which now lives actively inside of you, is so incredibly powerful, so fundamentally alive, and so bursting with creative energy that if you were to stand before the massive, intimidating mountains in your life and boldly command them to move in my name, they would have absolutely no choice but to instantly obey. Think right now about the massive mountains that have been aggressively blocking your path to peace. Think about the dark, looming mountain of financial debt that constantly threatens to crush your hope. Think about the heavy, agonizing mountain of chronic sickness or lingering depression that casts a long, terrifying shadow over your daily joy. Think about the stubborn, deeply rooted mountain of family conflict, generational trauma, or persistent anxiety. For years, you have quietly sat in the dark shadow of these massive mountains, believing the terrible lie that they are permanent fixtures in your landscape, tragic monuments to your ultimate defeat that can never be altered. You have desperately tried to climb over them using your own fragile human strength, only to fall back down, completely exhausted, bruised, and deeply discouraged. You have tried to dig around them, only to find that their cold, bitter roots extend deeper than you could ever possibly reach. But today, I am lovingly commanding you to completely change your strategy. Stop trying to climb the mountain in your own exhausted strength and start boldly speaking to it with my divine authority. Stand up tall. Square your shoulders. Take a deep, powerful breath of my Holy Spirit, and open your mouth to declare my eternal promises directly to the massive obstacles that stand in your way. When you speak my word with the unwavering faith of a mustard seed, it is no longer merely your human voice vibrating in the earthly air. It is the roaring, unstoppable voice of the Almighty Creator violently shaking the very foundations of the earth. When you command the dark mountain of sickness to crumble and cast itself into the sea, the spiritual realm instantly trembles, and the chains of infirmity are violently shattered by the blinding light of my healing power. When you command the heavy mountain of poverty to move, the locked gates of heaven violently swing open, and a rushing flood of divine provision begins to permanently reshape the landscape of your finances. Never, ever doubt me, for I am the only faithful, true, and almighty God. I have completely given you the divine right to use my holy name as a sharp, unyielding sword against the dark forces of despair. Do not passively accept defeat. Do not quietly tolerate the miserable presence of these mountains any longer. Command them to be completely removed. Command the stubborn doors to swing wide open. Command the dry, barren bones of your lost dreams to miraculously come back to life. No matter what happens in the natural realm, no matter how intimidating the obstacle may appear to your physical eyes, I will never, ever leave you alone in this battle. I will love you eternally, and I will actively back up every single righteous word you speak in faith with the full, staggering, infinite weight of my heavenly kingdom. Do not forget this profound truth. I intimately know every single intricate part of you. I know your deepest, most complex feelings, your quiet, fleeting thoughts, and your hidden, noble deeds. Thus, I know with absolute certainty that you truly deserve all the immense, boundless love and miraculous power I have to offer. No one in the entire universe knows you better, understands you more deeply, or loves you more fiercely than I do, for I am the very one who carefully, intentionally created you in my own brilliant, glorious image. Now, because you are perfectly protected by an invisible army of magnificent angels, because your faith is deeply rooted and growing into a massive, unshakable tree, and because you possess the divine authority to command huge mountains to move out of your way, you are finally strong enough, secure enough, and profoundly peaceful enough to do the absolute hardest thing I will ever ask of you. You are finally ready to completely let go of the heavy, toxic burden of unforgiveness. Because my angelic guard completely surrounds you, making you absolutely untouchable by the permanent harm of the enemy, you no longer need to violently defend yourself. You no longer need to bitterly strike back at those who have deeply wounded you. I know exactly how much they hurt you. I saw every single tear you cried in secret when they betrayed your pure trust, when they maliciously slandered your good name, and when they cruelly took advantage of your incredibly generous, loving heart. I felt the sharp, agonizing sting of their rejection right alongside you, and my heart broke as I watched you carry the heavy, bleeding wounds of their profound disrespect. The human instinct within you naturally screams for swift vengeance. It desperately desires to see them suffer exactly as they have made you suffer. It meticulously replays their cruel offenses, slowly building a dark, heavily fortified prison of bitter resentment inside your own beautiful heart. But my precious child, you must understand that holding on to this burning hatred is like drinking a deadly, corrosive poison and falsely expecting the other person to die. The dark, bitter root of unforgiveness does not punish your enemies. It only suffocates the beautiful, vibrant tree of faith growing inside of you. It blocks the glorious sunlight of my presence and completely stops the flowing river of my blessings in your life. Therefore, I am gently, lovingly inviting you today to completely let go of all hatred, all burning resentment, and all intense desire for earthly revenge. Open your tightly clenched fists and completely release those who have wronged you into my capable, righteous hands. I invite you to do something that completely defies all human logic. I invite you to sincerely pray for those who have maliciously wronged you, so that they might eventually find their way to my saving grace. Their dark, chaotic lives are completely devoid of my holy word and my life-giving commandments, which is exactly why they operate in such deep, blinding cruelty. They are stumbling around in a terrifying spiritual darkness, desperately lashing out at the brilliant light they see brightly shining within you. But leave them entirely to me, for I am the ultimate, perfect judge, And I am also the ultimate miraculous Redeemer. I will perform astonishing, undeniable wonders. I will bypass their stubborn, defensive walls, reach deeply into their cold, hardened hearts, and powerfully unveil the absolute blinding truth of their actions. I will deal with them with perfect divine justice and profound unmerited mercy in a way that you could never possibly achieve on your own. By choosing to completely forgive them, you are not saying that what they did was right, acceptable, or painless. You are simply choosing to permanently evict them from the sacred protected space of your mind. You are boldly declaring that they absolutely no longer have any power to control your precious emotions, dictate your daily joy, or steal your divine peace. Imagine the sheer, breathtaking physical sensation of this ultimate emotional release. Picture yourself standing on the edge of a vast, beautiful ocean, holding a heavy, dark stone that represents every single wrong ever committed against you. For years, your hands have bled from clutching this jagged rock of resentment so tightly. But today, right now, as you listen to the comforting sound of my voice, I am gently helping you to uncurl your tired, aching fingers. I am guiding your hands to completely drop that heavy stone into the unfathomable, infinite depths of my ocean of grace. Watch as it sinks entirely out of sight, disappearing forever beneath the cleansing, powerful waves of my unconditional love. Take a long, deep, beautifully cleansing breath. Fill your lungs with the pure, unpolluted air of absolute freedom. Notice how the heavy, crushing tension in your neck and shoulders instantly melts away. Notice how the dark, suffocating fog that has long clouded your mind instantly lifts, instantly replaced by the brilliant golden sunlight of my perfect peace. This is the magnificent, life-altering power of true, divine forgiveness. It is the ultimate, master key that instantly unlocks the massive floodgates of heaven, allowing an unstoppable, rushing river of my supernatural favor, absolute healing, and profound joy to violently crash into every single dry crevice of your earthly existence. When you release the heavy gavel of judgment back into my hands, an incredible immediate weight is permanently lifted from your weary shoulders. Your spirit instantly becomes extraordinarily light, free to soar into the high, breathtaking places of my presence without any bitter anchors holding you down. Do not waste another single precious second of your divine destiny on trivial matters of earthly revenge or petty, draining arguments. Turn your face completely away from the painful drama of the past. Focus your entire, undivided attention on me, on the absolute certainty of my magnificent promises, and on all the incredible, breathtaking gifts that I am completely ready and eager to generously pour into your lap. I have closely accompanied you since the very first moment of your birth, and even long, long before that, when you were simply a beautiful, silent thought in my eternal mind. I have carefully witnessed your incredible growth, your quiet, desperate struggles, and absolutely all the immense pain that you have had to bravely endure. Undoubtedly, you are incredibly, remarkably brave. You have survived storms that would have easily broken a lesser spirit, and you have emerged from the refining fire, shining like the purest, most valuable gold. And I am right here, intimately beside you, to give you the massive, unending strength to continue moving forward in glorious absolute victory. I ask only that you firmly believe in me, that you keep your beautiful faith incredibly strong, and that you completely trust my protective love. For I shall completely, miraculously transform your entire life. You will soon clearly see how the deep, jagged wounds of the past shall be perfectly, permanently healed, leaving only beautiful scars of absolute triumph, and you shall unnecessarily suffer no more. If this message is bringing peace to your soul, take a moment to subscribe and like, so we can continue this walk together. while I deal with those who have wronged you in secret, my focus now turns to the very walls of your home, where a miraculous transformation is about to begin. Today, my beloved child, I want to gently draw your attention away from the distant horizons and the vast spiritual battles, and I want to bring my loving focus right to the very threshold of your physical home. I am looking deeply into the spaces where you live, where you rest, and where you interact with those who are closest to your heart. For so long, the atmosphere within the walls of your household has felt heavy, burdened by the unspoken anxieties of the day, the lingering frustrations of unmet expectations, and the chaotic noise of a world that constantly demands your precious energy. I have seen how the stress of your daily life has crept through your front door, turning your sacred place of rest into a subtle battleground of tense interactions and guarded emotions. You have walked through your own hallways, carrying the immense weight of the world, feeling the invisible pressure in the very air you breathe, and desperately longing for a true sanctuary where your weary spirit can finally exhale. But I am declaring today that a magnificent, sweeping dawn of household harmony is rapidly breaking over your roof. I am actively moving through every single room of your house right now, driving out the thick, suffocating shadows of discord, misunderstanding, and restless anxiety. I want you to envision my Holy Spirit moving like a gentle, purifying breeze through your living room, your kitchen, your bedrooms, and even the quiet corners where you sit to think. This divine breeze is carrying away the lingering echoes of past arguments, the bitter remnants of harsh words spoken in moments of sheer exhaustion, and the heavy, invisible residue of the deep sorrows you have silently wept over in the midnight hours. I am meticulously cleansing the spiritual atmosphere of your dwelling place. From this moment forward, when you turn the key and open your front door, you will immediately feel a profound, undeniable difference. You will step into a tangible, deeply comforting warmth that instantly soothes your frayed nerves and completely calms your racing mind. Your home is being divinely transformed into a holy refuge, an absolute haven of unbreakable peace, where the harsh, critical voices of the outside world simply cannot penetrate. This is not a temporary truce or a fragile, fleeting moment of quiet. This is a permanent, foundational shift in the spiritual climate of your family's life. I am establishing my own profound peace as the absolute, ruling authority over your household. As this beautiful dawn of harmony begins to fully illuminate your home, I am also doing a deep, miraculous work within your own heart, specifically regarding how you communicate and connect with your loved ones. I know there have been countless times when the sheer overwhelming pressure of your circumstances has caused you to react with sudden frustration, to raise your voice in desperation, or to let sharp, impatient words slip past your lips. You have instantly regretted those moments, feeling the heavy, agonizing sting of guilt the second the words left your mouth. You have silently beaten yourself up, wondering why you could not simply maintain your composure, why you let the exhaustion dictate your tone, and why you ended up hurting the very people you love the most in this entire world. My precious child, I am not bringing this up to scold you, to shame you, or to add to your heavy burden of guilt. I bring this up because I completely understand the immense pressure you have been operating under. You have been running on empty for so long, trying to be the strong anchor for everyone else, while you yourself were secretly drowning in a sea of unspoken fears. Today, I am completely removing the heavy, oppressive yoke of that guilt, and I am lovingly imparting to you a brand new, supernatural capacity for emotional regulation and profound divine patience. I am gently placing my hand over your lips and performing a beautiful spiritual surgery on the way you express your feelings. You no longer have to rely on your own fragile, easily depleted human willpower to bite your tongue or force a smile when you are feeling deeply provoked or overwhelmed. Instead, I am filling your heart so completely to the brim with my unshakable peace that gentle, loving words will naturally and effortlessly overflow from you. I am actively rewiring your natural instincts. When a tense situation suddenly arises in your home, when a misunderstanding threatens to spiral into an argument, or when someone you love speaks to you out of their own unhealed pain, your first immediate reaction will no longer be one of defensive anger or sharp retaliation. I am giving you the extraordinary, divine grace to pause, to take a deep, stabilizing breath of my Holy Spirit, and to respond with a softness that completely disarms the tension. Do you truly understand the staggering creative power that I have placed within your tongue? Your words are not just empty sounds vibrating in the air. They are powerful, spiritual instruments that can either build magnificent bridges of healing or completely burn down the fragile structures of trust. A gentle, carefully chosen word, spoken in the pure frequency of my love, has the absolute power to instantly shatter a heavy atmosphere of anger. It acts like cool, soothing water poured directly onto a blazing fire. I am empowering you to become the absolute thermostat of your home. You will no longer passively reflect the chaotic, changing temperatures of the people around you. Instead, you will proactively set the temperature of your household with the incredible, unwavering peace that I have securely anchored deep inside your soul. You will beautifully guide your loved ones not through harsh correction, loud demands, or bitter comparisons, but through the irresistible, magnetic pull of your own quiet, dignified grace. Your gentle responses will speak volumes louder than any shout ever could, vividly demonstrating to your family the miraculous, undeniable reality of my transforming power at work within you. I deeply understand the profound, agonizing worry you carry for the spiritual and emotional well-being of your family members. You constantly watch them struggle with their own complex battles, their stubborn habits, their confusing paths, and their moments of deep spiritual dryness. You have spent countless, agonizing hours trying to figure out how to perfectly fix them, how to say the exact right thing that will finally open their eyes, or how to manually orchestrate their breakthrough. You carry the heavy, crushing burden of feeling completely responsible for their ultimate salvation and their daily happiness. But my beloved, I am gently lifting your face today and asking you to completely release that impossible burden into my capable hands. You were incredibly designed to perfectly love your family, but you were absolutely never designed to be their savior. That role belongs entirely, exclusively to me. I want you to step back and completely trust the magnificent, invisible work that I am currently doing in the deepest, most hidden chambers of their hearts. While you are focusing entirely on maintaining your own spiritual calm and resting in my presence, I am actively, relentlessly pursuing the hearts of those you love. I am working powerfully behind the scenes, far beyond the limited scope of what your physical eyes can see. Even when they appear completely resistant, stubbornly set in their ways, or miles away from my truth, do not let your heart be troubled, and absolutely do not lose your hope. I am intimately speaking to them in the quiet, unguarded moments of their lives. I am whispering my love to them in their dreams. I am carefully orchestrating divinely appointed encounters, perfectly timing events, and gently shifting their perspectives in ways that you could never possibly orchestrate on your own. The very people in your home who currently seem the most difficult, the most distant, or the most deeply frustrating are the exact ones that I am preparing for a massive, unprecedented spiritual awakening. They will soon begin to grow remarkably in their understanding, their divine wisdom, and their spiritual maturity. Your most important vital job right now is simply to stand completely firm in your faith, to keep the magnificent light of my presence burning brightly in your own life, and to keep lifting them up to my throne in quiet, steadfast prayer. Do not waste your precious, limited energy pointing out their constant flaws, nagging them about their shortcomings, or frantically trying to control their every decision. All of that frantic human effort only builds higher, thicker walls of defense between you and them. Instead, I ask you to bring all your heavy worries, all your deep anxieties, and all your desperate prayers for them directly to me first. Pour out your heart to me in the secret place, and then confidently walk out of that prayer room and simply love them with my unconditional, no-strings-attached love. Show them the profound, unshakable joy that you have found in me. Let them clearly see that your deep peace is absolutely not dependent on their perfect behavior or their immediate compliance. This unconditional, steadfast love will be the incredibly powerful, irresistible catalyst that finally breaks through their hardened shells. You will personally witness the glorious day when their hearts fully soften, when the deep, lingering resentments simply melt away, and when genuine, profound unity is beautifully restored to your family circle. As you patiently wait for this complete manifestation of household harmony, as you bravely choose gentle words, and as you completely trust my invisible work in your loved ones, you must fiercely guard your own spirit against the subtle, dangerous temptation to fall back into a posture of constant complaining. I know intimately how incredibly long this journey has been for you. I know how deeply the sharp stones of disappointment have cut into your weary feet. When you have been fiercely standing in faith for a very long time, actively fighting off doubt and repeatedly pushing back the heavy darkness, there is a very natural, deeply human urge to simply collapse onto the ground, to weep in utter frustration, and to bitterly complain about the sheer unfairness of the battle. You look around and falsely perceive that others have it so much easier, that their paths are completely smooth, while yours is constantly littered with massive, immovable boulders. The enemy wants absolutely nothing more than to slowly drain your remaining spiritual strength by keeping you heavily focused on the agonizing difficulty of the weight, whispering insidious lies that your extraordinary effort is completely useless and that I have somehow forgotten my promises to you. But I am speaking directly to that deep, aching weariness in your soul right now. I am infusing you with a brand new, supernatural fortitude that completely defies human logic. I am commanding the heavy, dark spirit of heaviness and chronic complaint to permanently loose its grip on your mind. You will no longer drag your feet through this beautiful life, looking downward at the dusty path of your problems. I am physically and spiritually lifting your head so that you can look straight into the blazing, glorious reality of your impending victory. I am beautifully replacing the heavy, exhausted sigh of a victim with the deep, powerful, and triumphant breath of an unstoppable conqueror. When the intense urge to bitterly complain about your current circumstances aggressively rises up in your throat, I will instantly meet it with a massive, overwhelming wave of divine gratitude. You will suddenly, miraculously find yourself singing breathtaking songs of profound praise right in the very middle of your most difficult, chaotic moments. This is not a fragile, fake positivity or a denial of your real, valid pain. This is a profound, earth-shattering spiritual weapon. When you deliberately choose to praise me, to boldly speak of my goodness, and to maintain your absolute royal dignity, even when the pressure is immensely intense, you completely paralyze the forces of darkness that are actively trying to defeat you. I am giving you such incredible, unprecedented strength today that you shall boldly tread upon serpents and scorpions. You shall effortlessly crush the deceitful, whispering demons of doubt, and absolutely all the dark, chaotic hosts of evil will flee in absolute terror from your presence. Nothing, and absolutely no one shall have the power to permanently harm your spirit or derail your divine destiny. I never wish to see you broken, defeated, or shrinking back in fear. I intensely desire to see you completely filled with an unwavering, unbreakable confidence, operating with a fierce, resolute spirit that absolutely refuses to back down. I want you to walk through your daily life with the absolute, unshakable certainty that all the beautiful, magnificent things you have been desperately anticipating are already eagerly rushing toward you. Every single time you make the deliberate, powerful choice to rise above the temptation to complain, every time you choose quiet, dignified trust over loud, chaotic panic, you are actively proving your immense, unshakable loyalty to me. This pleases my heart more deeply than you could ever possibly know, and I assure you, I am a God who lavishly, exceedingly rewards the faithful perseverance of His beloved children. I am permanently embedding in your heart today a firm, unshakable belief that my perfect plans for you are entirely for your ultimate good, for your massive prosperity, and for your absolute, overflowing joy. I am stabilizing your racing thoughts, calming your turbulent emotions, and firmly setting your feet upon the solid, immovable rock of my eternal word. You will no longer be violently tossed back and forth by the unpredictable, changing circumstances of your daily life. You are completely secure, you are profoundly loved, and you are being carefully, meticulously guided by the very hand that effortlessly hung the stars in the vast expanse of the sky. As my peace continues to aggressively expand and permanently settle over every single inch of your living space, as your gentle words bring deep, miraculous healing to your loved ones, and as your inner strength rises to breathtaking new heights, you will clearly realize that the hardest part of your internal domestic battle has already been decisively won. Your home will soon become an unbreakable sanctuary of peace, but outside those walls, there are still winds of envy trying to extinguish your joy. Even as you establish a profound, unbreakable peace within the walls of your own home, and even as your immediate family begins to heal and unite under the warm, protective blanket of my grace, I know that your journey in this world still requires you to step outside your front door. You still have to navigate a complex, often deeply confusing society, interacting with people whose hearts are heavily burdened by their own unresolved pain, their deep-seated insecurities, and their profound spiritual blindness. I am intimately aware of the specific, agonizing challenges you face in these external spaces. Your life is indeed a journey filled with delightful, divine surprises and abundant opportunities for magnificent growth. But it is also a path that frequently takes you right through the jagged, treacherous valleys of human jealousy. I see clearly how your emotions plummet, how your joyful spirit is suddenly and violently pulled downward when you begin to feel the cold, bitter sting of envy and rejection coming from the people around you. This pain is particularly sharp, incredibly devastating, and profoundly disorienting because this venom often does not come from strangers or distant enemies. It frequently comes from those who are in your immediate circle, from familiar faces in your community, from long-time associates, and sometimes even from those who loudly claim to love and support you. I have watched you stand in quiet, stunned disbelief as someone you trusted, someone you have generously helped in the past, suddenly turns a cold shoulder toward you simply because they see my glorious light beginning to shine so brightly upon your life. Instead of genuinely celebrating your hard-won victories, instead of rejoicing when you finally experience a much-needed breakthrough, they react with a dark, subtle hostility. They offer backhanded compliments that are carefully designed to diminish your joy. They exclude you from their circles, quietly whispering behind your back, completely misrepresenting your pure intentions, and actively seeking to tarnish the beautiful reputation I am building for you. I know exactly how this deeply confusing betrayal pierces your tender heart. You have spent countless, agonizing hours lying awake at night, endlessly replaying these painful interactions in your mind, desperately trying to figure out what you did wrong. You constantly ask yourself why they harbor such intense negativity toward you when you have only ever tried to show them kindness, respect, and genuine friendship. You have shed bitter, silent tears over the agonizing loss of these relationships, feeling a profound, aching loneliness as you realize that the very people you wanted to bring with you on this beautiful journey of faith are actively choosing to stay behind in the dark, and are furiously angry at you for choosing to walk into the light. My beloved child, I need you to listen to me with the utmost clarity today, and I need you to let my divine truth completely wash away the profound confusion and the agonizing self-doubt that this envy has caused you. You must deeply understand the true spiritual nature of what you are experiencing. The toxic venom of envy that they are directing at you actually has absolutely nothing to do with your character, your actions, or your worth. Their jealousy is not a reflection of your failure. It is a direct, undeniable reaction to my presence, violently disrupting their comfortable darkness. When I begin to visibly bless your life, when I begin to elevate you, heal you, and profoundly transform your mindset, you instantly become a walking, breathing, undeniable mirror that reflects the absolute truth of my power. For those who stubbornly refuse to surrender their own lives to me, for those who are fiercely clinging to their own bitterness and their own comfortable stagnation, the bright, radiant reflection of my grace upon your life is incredibly confronting. Your profound spiritual growth silently but powerfully exposes their deliberate refusal to grow. Your unshakable, overflowing joy magnifies their own deep, unhealed misery. Your steadfast, unwavering faith highlights their own paralyzing fear and their profound lack of trust in me. Because they do not want to do the difficult, necessary work of facing their own deep spiritual poverty, they choose the much easier, far more destructive path of attempting to tear you down. They desperately want you to shrink back, to lower your vibrant energy, and to return to the broken, defeated version of yourself so that they can finally feel comfortable around you again. They subconsciously believe that if they can successfully extinguish your beautiful light, they will no longer have to confront the uncomfortable, pressing darkness within their own souls. This is the tragic, poisonous anatomy of human envy. I am explaining this to you not so that you will hate them, but so that you will be completely free from the heavy, crushing burden of trying to appease them. You absolutely must stop twisting yourself into uncomfortable, agonizing knots, desperately trying to make them happy. You must immediately cease your exhausting, futile efforts to constantly explain yourself, to downplay your massive blessings, or to intentionally hide the magnificent work I am doing in your life just to spare their fragile, deeply insecure feelings. Do not ever apologize for the abundant favor I have chosen to place upon you. Do not ever dim the brilliant, blazing light of my spirit within you, simply because it happens to hurt the eyes of those who willfully choose to live in the dark. I am strongly commanding you today to fiercely defeat the venom of this envy by refusing to let it penetrate the sacred, protected boundaries of your spirit. When they direct their coldness and their subtle hostility toward you, you must boldly raise the impenetrable shield of your faith. You cannot control their bitter reactions, but you have absolute, supreme control over whether or not you allow their toxic venom to infect your own heart. Do not let their profound lack of understanding ruin your earnest, beautiful efforts to do good in this world. Do not let their petty, earthly jealousy mess with your deeply anchored divine emotions. I need you to completely detach your sense of self-worth from their fluctuating, deeply flawed opinions. Their approval is completely unnecessary for your ultimate success, and their rejection is utterly powerless to stop the massive, unstoppable flood of blessings I have already released into your life. You are solely mine. You are not their project, you are not their subordinate, and you are absolutely not defined by their incredibly limited worldly perspective. I will tightly wrap you in the thick, impenetrable armor of my unconditional love. And I will personally, fiercely stand up to anyone who tries to upset you, manipulate you, or unjustly hinder your forward progress. One of the most insidious, deeply painful tactics that the envious will use to try and drag you backward is the weapon of mockery, specifically focusing their attacks on your past. Instead of seeing the beautiful, miraculous good in you right now, instead of acknowledging the profound, undeniable transformation I have wrought in your character, they constantly maliciously seek ways to make you feel terrible by aggressively revisiting the past. They strategically bring back painful memories, continuously throwing your old, completely forgiven mistakes back into your face, in a desperate, cruel attempt to hurt and shatter your rising spirit. They want to remind you of the times you failed, the times you acted out of profound weakness, and the times you made foolish, short-sighted decisions. They weaponize your own history against you, acting as earthly mouthpieces for the ultimate accuser, desperately trying to convince you that your current faith is fake, that your spiritual growth is merely a temporary illusion, and that you will always, fundamentally, be the broken, flawed person you used to be. This specific type of mockery is a highly calculated, deeply vicious form of psychological and spiritual warfare. It is designed to trigger a rapid, devastating cascade of negative mental cycles within your mind. When they bring up your past, they are trying to activate the dormant seeds of your old shame, hoping that you will instantly agree with their harsh assessment and willingly step back into the heavy, suffocating chains of condemnation that I have already broken. But today, as you listen closely to my voice, I demand that you make a profound, unshakable decision. Just as you have already shown incredible, resilient faith and been remarkably strong in the midst of your physical and emotional pain, you must now deliberately adopt a fierce, unyielding attitude of absolute victory over this mental battlefield. You must violently break these negative mental cycles the very second they attempt to start. When they speak lies about your identity, when they cruelly mock your deeply held beliefs, or when they attempt to shame you with a past that I have completely, permanently erased from my memory. You must immediately, aggressively counter their venomous words with the roaring, undeniable truth of my promises. You must remind yourself, with absolute, unwavering conviction, that the flawed, broken person they are maliciously talking about is completely, legally, and spiritually dead. That old version of you was permanently crucified with me, forever buried in the deep, silent tomb of my grace, and the person who stands before them now is an entirely new, brilliantly radiant creation, completely washed in my blood and powerfully justified by my resurrection. If I, the almighty, perfect, and completely holy creator of the entire universe, do not condemn you, then who on this earth possesses the absolute authority to do so? Their mocking words are nothing but empty, powerless air. They carry absolutely no spiritual weight, no legal jurisdiction, and no divine authority over your life. I am instructing you to look the spirit of mockery straight in the eye and remain completely, entirely unmoved. Do not scramble to fiercely defend yourself. Do not engage in exhausting, endless debates trying to prove your profound transformation to people who are completely committed to misunderstanding you. Your fiercely defended silence, backed by your unshakable trust in my justification, is a massive, impenetrable fortress that will deeply confound and frustrate your attackers. Let your beautifully changed life, your overwhelming, consistent peace, and your profound, quiet dignity be the only loud, undeniable answer you ever give to their cruel, biting mockery. I know that standing firm against this relentless, bitter storm of rejection and constantly holding up the heavy shield of faith against the continuous arrows of their envy requires a massive, agonizing amount of spiritual and emotional energy. I see exactly how much it takes out of you. I see the moments when you are completely surrounded by these frustrating problems, when you are constantly facing senseless, petty arguments, and when you are feeling utterly, profoundly exhausted by the constant heavy demand to protect your own peace. I know there are days when you feel completely overwhelmed by the multitude of choices you have to make, when the heavy, dark clouds of discouragement roll in, and when your vibrant, hopeful spirit feels dangerously low. The continuous, jarring friction of interacting with a broken, hostile world can slowly, silently drain your spiritual batteries, leaving you feeling dangerously empty, deeply fragile, and desperately close to a breaking point. It is in these exact, critical moments of profound, bone-deep exhaustion that I am issuing you a beautiful, urgent, and deeply loving invitation. Come to me. Come and take a profound, desperately needed break with me. Do not try to push through this massive, crushing fatigue in your own fragile, depleted human strength. Do not attempt to fiercely fight the heavy darkness when your own internal light is flickering so dangerously low. Step away from the loud, chaotic noise of the battlefield. Turn your phone off. Close your door. Shut out the demanding, frantic voices of the world and step directly into the quiet, sacred sanctuary of my presence. In this completely safe, protected space, you do not have to be strong. You do not have to hold up the heavy shield. You do not have to bravely face the mocking crowds or carefully navigate the treacherous, exhausting waters of their envy. Here, in the deep, silent center of my love, you can simply collapse into my arms. You can completely let down your heavy guard. You can allow the hot, bitter tears of your sheer exhaustion to flow freely, without any fear of judgment, without any need to explain, and without any pressure to quickly dry your eyes and perform. In my presence, you will find a profound, restorative peace and a deep, anchoring hope that completely defies human comprehension. This is not just a brief, temporary pause. It is a vital, life-giving infusion of my own eternal, unshakable strength directly into your weary, depleted soul. I will gently, meticulously take off the heavy, agonizing loads you have been carrying. I will carefully lift the crushing burden of other people's deeply flawed opinions off your tired shoulders. I will completely remove the heavy, restrictive armor that you have worn for so long to protect yourself from their sharp words. I do not want you to feel lonely, profoundly isolated, or deeply sad for a single moment longer. You are under my exquisite, constant care, and I am highly, fiercely protective of your emotional well-being. Know this profound truth today, and let it deeply settle into your mind. I did not cause the cruel actions of those who have hurt you, and I did not orchestrate the toxic environment of their envy. But I absolutely, solemnly promise you that I will powerfully pull you out of the deep, suffocating mud of their negativity with my own strong, victorious right hand. I have never, ever meant for you to go through more than you can possibly handle, and I would absolutely never give you a challenge that is too tough for you to ultimately conquer with my help. Your future is so incredibly bright, so massively filled with unprecedented blessings and glorious opportunities, that the enemy of your soul is operating in a state of sheer, absolute panic. The intense, concentrated attacks of envy, the cruel mockery, and the profound, sweeping exhaustion you have recently faced are actually a massive, undeniable confirmation that you are standing right on the very edge of your greatest victory yet. The enemy is desperately trying to steal your joy and completely drain your strength right before you cross the finish line, because he clearly sees the magnificent, beautiful things that I have carefully prepared for you. But remember, my beloved, you have the ultimate power to completely choose how you will react to this exhaustion. Your deeply rooted, unwavering faith is like a massive blazing sword that violently cuts through absolutely all of their dark, suffocating barriers. If you make the fatal mistake of letting their negative thoughts, their bitter criticisms, and their heavy, toxic feelings take root inside your mind, they will successfully drag you down into their own miserable despair. But if you fiercely, deliberately put my Holy Spirit first in your life, if you consciously choose to prioritize my comforting presence over their chaotic drama, and if you continually, intentionally fill your heart with my promises, you will absolutely, undeniably win. I have already played my part in this magnificent cosmic drama. I have completely saved you. I have already secured an absolute, eternal victory that is waiting entirely ready for you to claim it. Now, it is completely up to you to simply keep standing incredibly strong, exactly as you have been doing with such remarkable, breathtaking bravery. I am telling you this precisely, perfectly in time, exactly when you need to hear it the most, because you are incredibly close to reaching a profound, elevated spiritual level where extraordinary, everyday miracles will become your completely normal, continuous reality. Do not even entertain the dangerous thought of turning back now. You have bravely come so incredibly far, traversing mountains of pain and valleys of despair that would have completely destroyed others. Do not let your massive, exhausting past efforts, your countless bitter tears, and your fierce, agonizing battles completely go to waste just because the final stretch of the journey feels so incredibly steep. At this exact pivotal moment in your history, it matters absolutely not whether your extended family, your former friends, or your jealous associates appreciate your profound efforts or validate your immense spiritual growth. Their validation is completely irrelevant to the massive, unstoppable move of my spirit in your life. Focus your entire, undivided attention solely on the magnificent goal that I have set before you. Your deeply forged faith and your profound, God-given power of decision are significantly stronger than the thickest, most impenetrable steel. Strive with all your might and be incredibly, remarkably brave. Many others have completely abandoned their divine purpose and now constantly lament their miserable situation because they allowed the cruel envy of others and the heavy weight of exhaustion to dictate their final outcome. But a completely different, overwhelmingly glorious future eagerly awaits you. You are rapidly approaching the sacred threshold of daily miracles. These are not just rare, isolated incidents. This is a permanent, atmospheric shift in your life where my supernatural favor violently intersects with your natural, everyday circumstances. You will soon begin to experience a continuous, unbroken chain of divine synchronicity. You will make the exact right connections at the precise, perfect moment. You will experience sudden, unexplainable favor with people in positions of high authority. The complex, agonizing problems that have completely stumped you for years will suddenly dissolve effortlessly, practically solving themselves through my invisible, miraculous intervention. You will wake up every single morning with a profound, bubbling sense of joyous anticipation, actively looking for the beautiful, surprising ways I will demonstrate my deep, abiding love for you throughout the day. This magnificent, continuous flow of everyday miracles is the direct, beautiful result of your unwavering steadfastness in the face of profound opposition. Because you refused to bow down to their mockery, because you bravely chose to forgive when you had every human right to be deeply bitter, and because you constantly, desperately sought my face in the darkest, most exhausting moments of your journey, you have perfectly positioned yourself to receive the absolute maximum outpouring of my grace. My glorious presence completely surrounds you, forming an unbreakable, radiant shield of divine favor. My powerful, comforting spirit actively reigns in your home, completely dictating the atmosphere of peace. The massive, heavy windows of heaven are physically, spiritually preparing to forcefully open upon you, ready to pour out a massive, overwhelming flood of incredible blessings and precious gifts that will completely, entirely fill your house with unspeakable, boundless joy. Even the deeply hardened hearts of those who previously turned their backs on you, those who mocked you and fiercely envied you, will eventually be powerfully drawn to the undeniable, radiant light of my presence in your life. Many will find deep, true forgiveness and beautiful restored unity because your steadfast, unwavering example of grace will completely shatter their pride. Do not be afraid of the massive, sweeping changes that are about to occur. I am right here with you, intimately holding your hand as we step over this magnificent threshold together. Do not get anxious, do not allow panic to return to your mind, for I am your God, the absolute, undisputed ruler of all creation. I will give you massive, unending strength. I will powerfully help you out of any remaining difficulties, and I will strongly, fiercely support you with my victorious right hand. You have stood firm against the bitter storm of rejection, and because of this unyielding faith, the heavy clouds above you are finally beginning to part. The sky above your life has been a heavy, suffocating ceiling of dark gray for a very long time. But in this glorious moment, I want you to lift your eyes and witness a sight that your weary heart has despaired of ever seeing again. The thick, rolling clouds of your long, agonizing trial are finally, permanently parting. Picture a massive, heavy theater curtain being slowly and gracefully drawn back by a gentle, invisible hand, revealing a breathtaking expanse of brilliant, pristine blue. The fierce, howling winds that have screamed in your ears for years, desperately trying to drown out the quiet, comforting sound of my voice, are suddenly dying down into a soft, reverent whisper. The dark tempest that has defined your yesterday is officially, permanently over. The cold, relentless downpour that once felt like a harsh, never-ending assault on your spirit has completely cleared, leaving behind a pristine, freshly washed landscape glistening under the very first golden rays of my divine favor. Take a long, slow, and beautifully deep breath of this fresh, unpolluted air. Feel the crisp, clean atmosphere of this brand new dawn penetrating into the deepest, most exhausted corners of your lungs. Smell the rich, fertile earth beneath you, which has been thoroughly, meticulously prepared by the heavy rains to bring forth a magnificent, unprecedented harvest of joy. You have lived for so long in a constant, hyper-vigilant state of spiritual and emotional survival, always bracing your tired shoulders for the next devastating blow, always waiting with a quiet dread for the other shoe to drop. But I am commanding you today to permanently relax your guard. The atmosphere of continuous crisis has been entirely, permanently dissolved. The low-pressure systems of paralyzing anxiety, heavy depression, and chronic, suffocating lack are rapidly moving out of your territory, driven far away by the warm, irresistible breeze of my Holy Spirit. Look up and watch the dark clouds disintegrating into thin, harmless wisps of white, completely vanishing into the warm light of my presence. The sun is shining directly, warmly upon your face, gently drying the cold sweat of your fear and illuminating a completely clear, beautiful path ahead. This is not a temporary break in the weather, nor is it a brief, fragile moment of quiet before another storm rolls in. This is a profound, permanent change of season. The harsh, freezing winter of your soul is ending, and the glorious, fruit-bearing spring of my divine favor is officially beginning. As the physical and spiritual atmosphere of your life continues to clear, you must prepare your mind to comprehend the sheer magnitude of this transformation. I am not merely bringing you out of the storm so that you can sit quietly on the sidelines, nursing your old wounds in isolation. No, I have brought you through the fire and the rain because I am preparing you for a magnificent, highly specialized calling. You are not just a fortunate survivor who has barely crawled out of the wreckage of a disaster. You are being powerfully transformed into a vital, life-giving channel of my supernatural healing power for everyone you meet on your journey. I want you to visualize a dry, dusty, and deeply cracked riverbed that has been completely barren for decades. A place where nothing could grow and where travelers only pass through with a sense of deep weariness. When the heavy, abundant rains of heaven finally fall, that dry riverbed does not selfishly keep the water to itself. It rapidly swells, it overflows its ancient banks, and it carves out a beautiful rushing channel of crystal clear, living water that brings vital life, lush green vegetation, and refreshing coolness to every single dry, desolate land it touches along its winding path. In the exact same, magnificent way, the profound healing, the immense peace, and the radiant bubbling joy that I am currently pouring into your spirit will not stop with you. You are becoming a walking sanctuary, a living vessel of divine restoration. When you walk into a room that is heavy with unspoken tension, thick with anxiety, or dark with silent grief, the quiet, powerful frequency of my peace, dwelling deep within your soul, will instantly, tangibly shift the entire atmosphere. People who do not even know my name will look at your face and feel a sudden, unexplainable sense of comfort and safety. When you speak, your words will no longer be mere polite conversation or empty social pleasantries. They will carry a tangible, soothing balm of my spirit that instantly binds up the hidden, bleeding wounds of the brokenhearted. Your hands, which have been calloused by years of hard, exhausting labor and lifted in thousands of desperate, tearful prayers in the dark, are being divinely consecrated as instruments of my miraculous touch. When you interact with your struggling neighbors, your weary friends, or the relatives who have been hardened by the harshness of this life, you will witness my restoring power flow through your presence like a warm, rejuvenating current. You will not have to search for the right theological words or force a complex religious message upon them. Simply by standing in my light, by offering them your quiet, dignified strength, and by speaking words of genuine, unmerited blessing over their lives, you will become the very hands and feet of my grace. You will heal the deep rift in your community. You will be the one who quietly mends the fractured, long-held animosities between neighbors. You will speak calm into the middle of their chaotic storms, and they will look at you with deep wonder, recognizing that you possess a secret, unshakable foundation that the world can neither give nor take away. You are being positioned as a vital, walking oasis in a dry and thirsty desert, a beacon of hope pointing lost, exhausted souls toward the eternal, flowing spring of my unconditional love. Do not shrink back from this extraordinary calling out of a false sense of unworthiness or lingering insecurity. Your preparation was long, and it was incredibly painful, but it has made you uniquely, perfectly suited to carry this heavy weight of glory. The very areas where you were most deeply broken are the exact places where my healing power will flow through you with the greatest, most miraculous intensity. This brings us directly to a highly sacred, deeply emotional truth that my heart has held in reserve for this exact, pivotal moment in your history. I want to talk to you, with the utmost tenderness, about your secret tears. I know with absolute intimacy that there have been countless nights when you believed you were entirely alone in your room, crying so quietly into your pillow so that your children, your spouse, or your loved ones would not hear your breaking heart. You believed those tears were completely wasted, lost in the dark vacuum of your silent, agonizing struggle, offering absolutely no value or purpose to your life. You felt a deep, crushing loneliness, wondering if anyone in the entire universe saw the immense weight you were carrying or cared about the silent, daily, slow death of your joy. But I am telling you today, with a voice that carries the weight of eternity, that not a single drop of your sorrow has ever been lost to my sight. I have carefully, meticulously collected every single bitter tear you have ever shed, storing them in magnificent golden vials before my heavenly throne. To me, those silent nocturnal tears were never a sign of weakness. They were the absolute most precious prayers you have ever offered. They were the raw, unfiltered, and deeply beautiful cries of a faithful soul desperately holding on to trust when all physical, natural hope seemed completely and utterly lost. You sowed those tears in the absolute darkness of your winter, and now, in this glorious season of restoration, those very tears are being distilled into a magnificent, heavy dew that is falling directly upon your personal harvest. Every single tear you sowed in painful secret is about to yield a massive, highly visible, and undeniable public reward. The areas where you wept the most, the specific situations that caused you the most agonizing, heart-wrenching sorrow, are the exact areas where you are about to experience the most overwhelming, breathtaking joy. Where you wept over your finances, feeling the suffocating daily panic of how you would survive, you will experience a stable, overflowing, and highly generous prosperity that will allow you to live with an open, relaxed hand. Where you wept over the physical sickness, the chronic pain, or the exhausting fatigue in your body, you will walk in a vibrant, youthful energy that will cause you to leap for sheer joy. Where you wept over the deep, painful estrangement, the rebellion, or the silent distance of your beloved children, you will witness a beautiful, tearful, and deeply emotional reconciliation that will completely restore your family's heart to a state of perfect harmony. This is my divine promise of holy compensation. I am paying you back with immense interest for every single year the swarming locusts have stolen from your life. I am paying you back for every lonely hour of isolation you endured, for every harsh, mocking word you silently absorbed, and for every agonizing night you spent wondering if your life would ever get better. Your long, grueling season of sowing and tears is officially, permanently over, and your glorious, shouting harvest of unspeakable, radiant joy has finally, triumphantly arrived. You will look back on the dark valleys of your past not with pain or regret, but with a profound, breathtaking sense of awe as you see how perfectly I have woven every single tear into a magnificent, beautiful tapestry of victory and abundance. With the dark clouds fully parted, your healing channel wide open, and your harvest rapidly coming in, you must realize that you are now walking on a completely different kind of spiritual terrain. For years, your path through this life felt incredibly muddy, slippery, and highly treacherous. Every single step you took felt like an exhausting uphill struggle against a sliding mountain of dirt, and you constantly lived with a quiet, paralyzing fear that one wrong move, one small mistake, would cause you to slide all the way back down into the dark abyss of your past failures and regrets. You walked with a tense, hesitant, and highly defensive stride, always looking downward at your feet, completely unable to enjoy the beauty of the surrounding landscape because you were so utterly terrified of stumbling. But today, I have firmly, permanently set your feet upon a solid, unshakable bedrock of divine truth. The muddy swamps of uncertainty, self-doubt, and chronic anxiety have been completely dried up, evaporated by the radiant warmth of my constant presence. Underneath your feet is the massive, ancient, and completely immovable rock of my eternal covenant. You can now walk with a bold, confident, and highly dignified stride, keeping your head held high, your chest out, and your eyes fixed firmly on the beautiful sunlit horizon. You no longer have to live in a state of hypervigilance, constantly scanning your environment for the next potential disaster, or waiting in fear for the storm to return and destroy what you have built. I am establishing a beautiful, peaceful, and highly stable daily rhythm in your life, Each and every morning when you wake up and open your eyes to the gentle dawn, I want you to step out onto this solid ground and immediately greet me with a heart overflowing with quiet, joyful gratitude. Welcome my words warmly into your spirit before the noise of the world can clutter your thoughts. Let my teachings be the absolute steady guide for your daily steps, and let my peace be the quiet anchor of your mind. As you maintain this beautiful, consistent connection with me, you will find that your daily path becomes increasingly bright, steady, and filled with a profound, unshakable stability. You are no longer a fragile leaf blown about by the chaotic, unpredictable winds of chance or human opinion. You are a deeply rooted, majestic, and highly secure tree of righteousness, standing tall and completely safe on the solid ground of my eternal, unchanging love. The ground beneath you is now solid, and the blessings have begun to flow. But there is one final, essential truth you must embrace to seal this victory forever. To seal this magnificent victory forever. To completely anchor your weary soul in the unshakable bedrock of my eternal promises, you must finally embrace the ultimate, breathtaking truth about who you truly are to me. Throughout this long, arduous journey, you have been bombarded by the loud, chaotic voices of a broken world. A world that aggressively attempts to assign your value based on your physical appearance, your financial output, your social status, and your flawless performance. You have internalized the cruel, demanding metrics of society, constantly measuring your own worth against a shifting, impossible standard that I never, ever established. When you stumbled, when you failed to meet the heavy expectations of others, or when you found yourself completely exhausted at the bottom of a dark valley, you falsely concluded that your value had somehow diminished in my eyes. You believed the insidious, terrifying lie that you were a massive disappointment, a deeply flawed project that I had simply abandoned on the dusty shelf of heaven. But today, I am permanently dismantling every single one of those heavy, suffocating lies. I am calling you exactly what you have always been, exactly what you are in this very moment, and exactly what you will be for all of eternity. You are my absolute greatest masterpiece. I want you to pause and deeply contemplate the sheer, staggering magnitude of that statement. I am the omnipotent creator of the vast, expanding universe. With a single spoken word, I effortlessly hurled billions of blazing galaxies into the infinite, dark expanse of space. I carefully carved out the massive ancient canyons, I filled the unfathomable depths of the roaring oceans, and I intricately designed the delicate, invisible mechanisms of the stars. I have fashioned wonders of incomprehensible scale and breathtaking beauty, spectacles that angels have spent millennia admiring in absolute awe. Yet, when I look out over the vast, sweeping panorama of all creation, my eyes do not linger on the burning nebulas or the majestic mountain peaks. My eyes look directly, passionately, and exclusively at you. You are the supreme crowning achievement of my divine craftsmanship. You were not mass-produced on an assembly line of humanity, nor were you a random, accidental byproduct of chance. Long before the foundations of the earth were ever laid, I meticulously, intentionally designed every single intricate detail of your being. I carefully chose the specific cadence of your laugh, the unique, beautiful shape of your smile, and the profound, hidden depths of your emotional capacity. I wove together your personality with absolute divine precision, blending your remarkable strengths with your tender vulnerabilities to create a perfectly balanced, utterly irreplaceable soul. When a master artist looks at their greatest painting, they do not despise it because it has been momentarily covered in dust or because it has suffered a scratch during a violent storm. The artist simply takes it into their careful hands and meticulously, lovingly restores it to its original, breathtaking glory. That is exactly what I am doing with you right now. The cruel, harsh environment of this fallen world has tried to throw dark paint over your brilliant colors. The enemy has desperately tried to deeply scratch your surface, hoping to permanently ruin your divine image through years of intense suffering, constant betrayal, and heavy, suffocating stress. But my restorative touch is profoundly gentle and absolutely perfect. I am carefully washing away the dark, bitter stains of your past mistakes, entirely removing the heavy, toxic layers of shame and guilt that have completely obscured your true identity. I am bringing your beautiful, original colors back to life, making them incredibly vibrant, fiercely radiant, and impossible to ignore. You must completely stop looking at yourself through the dirty, distorted lens of your past failures, and you must start looking at yourself through the immaculate, pure lens of the incredible price I paid for you. The absolute value of any masterpiece is strictly determined by the exact price the highest bidder is willing to pay. My beloved child, I did not purchase your freedom with corruptible, fading, earthly currency like silver or gold. I purchased your eternal life, your absolute peace, and your profound dignity with my own precious, flawless blood. You are worth absolutely everything to me. You are the exquisite poetry of my heart, the magnificent joy of my eternal existence. And absolutely nothing in this entire universe can ever diminish your staggering, infinite value. Because you are my greatest, most cherished masterpiece, I will not allow the ravages of time, the cruel thefts of the enemy, or the heavy consequences of past errors to permanently define the final outcome of your life. This brings us to a beautiful, sweeping promise of divine justice that will completely revolutionize your future. I am actively, miraculously restoring the precious years that the swarming locusts have eaten away. I know intimately how deeply you mourn the passage of time. I see you looking back over the landscape of your history, seeing vast, desolate fields where you believe your youth, your energy, and your greatest opportunities were completely devoured by situations entirely out of your control. You weep in secret over the years you spent trapped in toxic, deeply draining relationships, desperately trying to love people who were completely incapable of loving you back. You grieve over the long, agonizing seasons you spent paralyzed by suffocating fear, battling chronic, debilitating illnesses, or wandering blindly down confusing paths that ultimately led nowhere. You look at your current age, you look at the incredibly limited time you feel you have left, and a cold, heavy panic grips your chest. You whisper to yourself that it is simply too late, that the massive, beautiful dreams you once held are permanently dead, and that you must now sadly resign yourself to a life of quiet, enduring mediocrity. But you have completely forgotten who is in charge of your timeline. I am not bound by the strict, unyielding laws of human time, nor am I restricted by the slow, natural rhythms of the earthly seasons. I am the sovereign, undisputed Lord of time, and I possess the absolute staggering ability to miraculously accelerate your blessings. What would normally take a natural human being 20 grueling, exhausting years of continuous labor to build, I can easily, effortlessly establish for you in a single, glorious month of my supernatural favor. I am reaching far back into the dark, hidden corridors of your painful past, into those exact years you firmly believed were permanently lost to the devouring swarm. And I am violently extracting the hidden, underlying value of those experiences. I am taking the profound, hard-won wisdom you gained in the deep darkness, the incredible, resilient empathy you developed through your own suffering, and the fierce, unbreakable faith that was heavily forged in the blazing furnace of your trials, and I am forcefully multiplying them to inject massive, unprecedented power into your immediate future. Absolutely nothing was ever truly wasted. The intense pain you endured was entirely necessary to expand the profound capacity of your heart, stretching it wide enough to fully contain the massive, overwhelming outpouring of joy that is coming your way. This divine, sweeping restoration extends far beyond just your time and your physical resources. It fiercely encompasses the deeply fractured, painfully broken relationships that have caused you the most agonizing sorrow. I am actively moving upon the hearts of the family members who walked away, the children who completely lost their path, and the dear friends who were driven away by bitter, unresolved misunderstandings. I am gently, powerfully melting their hardened pride. I am removing the thick, blinding scales from their eyes so they can clearly see the profound, beautiful truth of your pure intentions. You will soon witness the breathtaking miracle of genuine, tearful reconciliation. The empty, quiet chairs at your family table will absolutely be filled once again, not with the heavy, lingering tension of the past, but with a profound, unshakable harmony that only my Holy Spirit can orchestrate. I am returning your stolen peace. I am restoring your lost innocence. I am completely rebuilding the devastated ancient ruins of your life, raising up the ancient foundations, and you shall be called the ultimate repairer of the breach, the great restorer of the paths in which to dwell. You will look at your vastly expanded, beautifully restored life, and you will be completely, utterly astounded by the sheer, overwhelming generosity of my divine compensation. And now, my beloved, as we stand together on the very threshold of this magnificent permanent victory, it is finally time to definitively answer the deep, haunting question that is quietly echoed in the darkest, most secret chambers of your soul. At the very beginning of this journey, I promised that I would answer the agonizing questions you whispered when your world was completely falling apart. You have bravely carried a heavy, silent pain, a subtle, lingering doubt that has occasionally threatened to completely extinguish your faith. In the absolute deepest, darkest, midnight hours of your suffering, when the betrayal cut you to the bone, when the devastating loss brought you completely to your knees, and when the physical and emotional pain was so immensely unbearable that you could barely draw a breath, you looked up at the seemingly empty, silent heavens and you cried out in sheer desperation. You asked me with a shattered, bleeding heart, "Where were you when I was hurting? Where were you when they walked away and left me completely alone? If you truly love me as your greatest masterpiece, how could you possibly stand by and watch me endure such immense, agonizing torture? Listen to me now, and let my words permanently heal the deepest, most profound wound you carry. I was right there. I was intimately, continuously, and fiercely present in the very center of your blazing furnace. My silence to your physical ears was absolutely never an indication of my absence. When the heavy, crushing blows of the enemy were violently raining down upon your life, trying to completely obliterate your spirit, I stepped directly between you and the attack. I actively absorbed the absolute worst, most fatal impact of those blows so that you would only be bruised, not permanently, entirely destroyed. When you were lying on the floor, completely paralyzed by the heavy, suffocating grip of panic, weeping until there were absolutely no tears left, I was the one sitting on the floor right beside you, gently cradling your weary head in my hands. I was the invisible, steady warmth that kept your heart beating when you desperately wanted to give up. I was the sudden, unexplainable deep breath that filled your lungs when you felt completely suffocated. I was the quiet, resilient spark of hope that absolutely refused to die, even when the darkness surrounding you was completely, overwhelmingly total. You must understand that I did not cause the cruel actions of those who betrayed you. I did not orchestrate the vicious sickness, the tragic loss, or the devastating financial ruin. Those are the tragic, bitter symptoms of a fallen, broken world ruled by free will and the chaotic forces of darkness. But I did something far more profound, far more miraculous than simply preventing the storm from ever happening. I took the absolute worst, most devastating weapons that the enemy aggressively launched against you. The very things that were explicitly, deliberately designed to completely destroy your faith and permanently ruin your life, and I forcefully hijacked them for my own glorious purposes. I stepped into the violent, raging fire with you, not to let you burn, but to ensure that the intense, blazing heat only burned away the heavy, restrictive chains that were holding you back. I used the agonizing pain of their bitter betrayal to completely sever your unhealthy reliance on human approval, forcing you to find your absolute unshakable worth exclusively in me. I used the terrifying period of your severe lack to completely destroy your illusion of self-sufficiency, teaching you to lean entirely on my miraculous, unlimited provision. The profound, heavy sorrow you endured did not mean that I had turned my back on you. It meant that I was performing deep, open-heart surgery on your spirit, carefully removing the fragile, brittle stones of your worldly expectations and replacing them with the solid, unbreakable diamond of true, enduring faith. You asked where I was when your heart was breaking. I was holding the pieces. I was carefully, meticulously gathering every single shattered fragment of your joy, ensuring that absolutely nothing was lost, so that I could seamlessly put you back together, stronger, wiser, and infinitely more beautiful than you were before the break. You are still standing today, breathing, listening to my voice, and stepping into this glorious future precisely because I absolutely refuse to let you go. My fierce, protective grip on your soul has never loosened for a single, fleeting microsecond. You survived the unsurvivable entirely because the Creator of the universe was intimately, actively fighting fiercely on your behalf in the unseen realm, fiercely pushing back the forces of darkness every single time they tried to cross the final line. Now, with the lingering questions fully answered, the bitter shadows permanently dispelled, and your true, magnificent identity fully realized, it is time for you to boldly step forward into a brand new chapter of absolute, unbreakable peace. This is not the fragile, temporary peace that the world conditionally offers, a peace that instantly vanishes the moment a new problem arises. This is my own divine, eternal peace, a massive, unshakable fortress that completely surrounds your mind, your heart, and your household. The heavy, relentless storm that characterized your past is definitively, permanently over. The thick, dark clouds have completely rolled away, and the brilliant golden sunlight of my massive favor is permanently shining directly upon your path. You are completely forgiven. You are totally redeemed. You are fiercely, passionately, and eternally loved by the Almighty God. From this glorious day forward, I want you to walk with the absolute, profound dignity of a royal heir who knows exactly who they are and exactly what they possess. Stop apologizing for your sheer existence. Stop minimizing your massive dreams. Stop allowing the loud, chaotic noise of earthly fear to dictate your divine, heavenly destiny. Your heart is entirely ready. Your spirit has been completely fortified. The beautiful, lush promised land I have carefully prepared for you is wide open, and the massive, overflowing harvest is eagerly waiting for your arrival. Forget about the old hurts, the bitter betrayals, and the heavy failures, for they have absolutely no power over you anymore. Lift your hands to the heavens right now, completely surrender the last remaining fragments of your heavy burdens, and breathe deeply in the absolute, total freedom of my grace. I am your healer, your fierce protector, your absolute provider, and your eternal, unfailing friend. I will constantly go before you to make the crooked places straight. I will fiercely walk beside you to hold your hand, and I will powerfully stand behind you to guard your back. You are safe. You are secure. You are perfectly whole. Welcome, my beloved, to the most beautiful, extraordinary chapter of your life. I am with you always, even unto the very end of the days, and my promises will absolutely never fail you. Amen.